What's going on, everybody? Avery Austin here, God Logic Apologetics. Life in the building. And you guys see our familiar friend Bob here. I was chilling. I was minding my own business, laying on the couch, watching TV as life was passing me by. Until life hit me up and said, hey, man, I want to get destroyed by a Muslim. So let me set up a stream so he can do that. So here we go. We're setting up the stream here because Bob challenged life on contradictions in the Quran and says that he can answer anything that life brings up. Is that right, Bob?
Right. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillah. Thank you for giving me this opportunity again to come and speak. Avery is going to be the mediator, I suspect, or are you going to be part of the debate?
Nah, man, I'm gonna let you cook this dude, man. I'm gonna let you cook this dude, and you better not disappoint me. Okay?
Well,
Inshallah,
I'll do my best.
I got off this couch.
But yeah,
Inshallah.
what I say is in the Quran, if you bring any
wait
argument against the Quran,
before you get into it, Bob, we're not there yet. We're not there yet. We're just doing the introduction right now. All right. Yeah, so I see. I like that you're already ready, man. You already got your apron on and everything. You ready to cook? I'm excited. I'm excited. So look, hold on. So somebody's asking, guys, there is no official name. The name of the intro song is God Logic Intro. That's it. My cousin sent me a beat. He put the vocals on it, and here we go. He made the God Logic intro. You know what I'm saying? And then at the end, my other cousin, his brother, gave me the outro. You know, the oh my God Logic. He gave me that. So that's it. They just sent me the files and custom made it for the YouTube channel. If you guys are in here already, please hit that like button. Bob, tell them to hit the like button, Insha Yeshua.
Sorry?
Tell the people to hit the like button, man.
All
right, people who are watching, please hit the like button as Avery stated. But right. Hopefully you enjoy the debate.
Yeah. Hopefully you enjoy it. So come on in, have a seat, and let's watch Life DDT get cooked. To support Life's channel, guys, is Shadow's Life DDT. He does pretty good. DDT. He's about to get DDT'd by Bob. Go ahead and subscribe to this Kafir's channel, man. Go ahead and subscribe to this Kafir's channel. He has good content, so subscribe to his channel. Hopefully Bob blows up after this as well. Hopefully Bob blows up. So hit that like button, guys. Let me know in the comment section where you're watching from. You already know that I love seeing the comments where you guys are watching from Kenya, from Scandinavia, from Sweden, Europe, London, Chicago. You know what I'm saying? I want to know where you guys are where you guys are watching from. All right. With that being said, this is really just a discussion. I'm just making sure nobody gets out of hand. When really we got nothing to worry about. Bob is a really nice guy. I just got to really worry about Life because he gets nervous. He starts to interrupt. So we're gonna watch Life, right? And so that's what it's gonna be. So matter of fact, so Bob, yeah, go ahead and get us kicked off, man. You was about to quote a Quran verse.
Okay, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. This guy Live DTD, I just saw one of his videos on YouTube about contradictions in the Quran. So I thought, let me reach out to him and have a discussion with him. And then he responded. And then we had a discussion, I think yesterday we did, which was really good. And then all of a sudden today, it's not even planned. And then we started debating again. So I just want us to have a debate with him. What his problems with the Quran, the contradictions there. Now, I personally believe I can answer most of the so-called contradictions Christians bring from the Quran. I personally believe I can answer them. There may be a few I don't know. And if I don't know those ones, I will say I don't know. But alhamdulillah, most of them the Christians bring forward, I do answer them. I do know them. Alhamdulillah. Thank God because of that. Because of Allah's help, I'm able to answer it. So that's why I said to him, I'll challenge you more about your so-called contradictions of the Quran. So this is why I stand with him.
All right, beautiful. Okay, so he has every answer to it. So life, you know, go ahead and let's get this cooked off, man.
Yeah, so basically Bob hit me up in the comment section, gave him my email, and he's been trying to reconcile this contradiction with me. Now, what I don't understand is some of the distortion that he was doing with the verses. So I did a recap on our conversation, and he feels that I cut out parts that he may have felt are strong, right? He said I cut out his strong points. So I said, okay, well, let's just go live, and we can't cut anything out. And so he was like, okay. And so now we're here. And so I'll let Bob go ahead and jump start it because he feels that I basically cut his conversation short or did, paste his strong point. So I would allow him to get his strong points out now so I can respond. So go ahead, Bob.
So just to be clear, you guys had a prior conversation.
Yes.
It was recorded but not live, and then you did some commentary on that conversation. And Bob is saying that you basically misrepresented him by not putting in the strong points that help his position. Okay, so Bob, you're going to, I guess you guys are revisiting this, and you guys are going to hash this out. All right, cool. All right, go ahead.
Yeah. Yesterday we were talking about the story of Adam alayhi salam and Iblis, where this gentleman said his life DTD said in the commandment for the angels to prostrate, it only mentioned the angels only, and Iblis wasn't part of it. So I said to him, no, Iblis is part of it. Just because his name is not mentioned there doesn't mean he's not there, because later in the later verses God confronted him and said to him, what's your problem for not following my commandment? So Iblis said to God, because I'm better than Adam. Adam was created from clay and I was created from fire. So because of those statements, I responded to him. I said to him, yes, Iblis was included in the commandment. So he said to me, no, he's not. That's the issue between me and him. Isn't that right, Live DTD?
You can just call him Life for sure. Just call him Life.
Oh, sorry, Live, yeah.
Yeah, that sounds about right so far.
Okay, excellent, yeah. So, I just want to make my point, because he obviously made a video about a couple of hours ago about my discussion between me and him. I think that my strong point when mentioned there, so I just want to mention it live here, so that people who are genuine, people who are looking for the truth, can see it. Because for me, when I do these things, I want the viewers to see it so that they can know the truth. There's many people out there who are looking for the truth. So part of my religion, it's our duty to share Islam to people. So I would like to see the viewers to see it, both Muslims and Christians, atheists, Hindus, whatever, whoever's watching it, I'm happy for them to see it. Like, continue, Avery, or?
Yeah, I think it's upon Life to present, to present the case. Then now, you brought your stuff, and where he clearly lied about you in his video. So
no, I didn't say he lied. I said he cut out some words. I didn't say he lied. I said there's some words that are not put there that I was arguing against him. I didn't say he lied, man. Please, yeah.
Clearly, I'm sorry. I'm saying he lied. Because clearly he took out the parts that destroyed his position.
Yeah.
Like, your point is pretty clear to me. So what you got to say, Life?
Yeah, I think Bob's a little nervous. I just gave him the floor to make his point, and he just kind of talked about how he wants to make his point. Go ahead, Bob. I'm waiting.
Okay, excellent. Yeah. You mentioned that in Allah commandments, when Allah gave the commands to the angels and Iblis to prostrate, you said Iblis is not part of the commandment. I said yes, he's part of it, because In the same chapter, chapter 18, Surah Al-Kahf, Allah confronted Iblis and said to him, "Why did you not follow my commandment?" And then Iblis directly responded to God and said, "Because I'm better than him. You created me from fire, and you created him from clay." Which means Iblis was part of the commandment because he acknowledges that. That's why he said to God, "I'm not listening to your command because I'm better than him." What you're trying to say is you're trying to use that just that verse because God mentioned the angels, yeah, and then you want to make it look like, oh, God only spoke to the angels, which is not the case because on late on verses it's been clarified that Iblis was part of it. So it's up to him to respond now.
Okay, so let's do this. Let's do this here. All right. I'm gonna share
Bob
this.
Logic, let's go.
Bob Logic, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's Bob Logic. It's Bob.
Yo, hey, chill out, man. Chill out, man.
Yo, that's great. That is insane. Wow. That's great. That's great.
Bro, I can't even focus right now. Y'all gotta chill, bro. Okay. All right, so Bob.
Yeah.
Now, you said Iblis was included in the command, right?
Yes, he was, yeah.
Okay. So it says, surely we created you, then shaped you, then said to who?
Carry on to the angels, yeah. Carry on.
The angels and who else?
Iblis is part of it. Even though he's not mentioned there, he's part of it, bro.
Okay. And where do you see Iblis being part of this here?
Because in the following verses, I'll repeat it again. God confronted him and said to him, "Why did you not listen to me?" And he said to him, "Because I'm better than him." That's it. Iblis acknowledges that.
No, that's not what happened. That's not what happened. It says, what prevented you from prostrating when I commanded you? What command of okay, so what command of prostration do we have in 7:11?
The previous verse, right, which says Allah commanded the angels. Just because he only mentioned the angels, hang on. Just because he only mentioned the angels, it does not mean Iblis is not part of it, bro. You know, I don't know where you get this idea from, like, oh, Iblis is not there. The verse clearly states there, Iblis acknowledges that he was commanded. The only reason he did not prostrate was because he thinks he's better than Adam. You know, clearly there, it's showing he.
Yeah, Bob, that's what I'm saying. So if we're gonna have this conversation again, you got to understand that what I told you prior was that is the error. The fact that Iblis is responding in this way is the error. The fact that Allah is talking to Iblis is the error. That's the error. So you're using the error to try to prove me wrong, and it's not going to work. So it says here, then shaped you, then said to the angels, prostrate before Adam. So they all did, but not Iblis, who refused to prostrate with the others, right? Then he says here, Allah says, what prevented you from prostrating when I commanded you? So then I asked you, where is this command? You said it's in the prior verse. Well, in the prior verse, the command is to the angels. We both agree, right? But then go here. Yeah, but then you go here, you go to 12, and you go to Iblis's response, where it says, he replied, I am better than he is. You created me from fire and him from clay. These are both problems for you, because I already told you the writer or the narrator of a story can make a character say anything that they want, whether it's wrong or right. So we see here, clear as day, Iblis shouldn't even be responding this way. So just because Iblis responds this way doesn't make this statement true. The fact that you're claiming that the angels and the jinn are included in this statement here, when it clearly stops at the angels. Iblis is not in here. So you need to reconcile that instead of using the actual text to prove yourself right. It doesn't work. I'm using the
Yes.
text as an error, and you're trying to say the text proves me wrong when the text is the error. You got to use something else.
Now, basically, if I'm using a story of the Quran, when it comes to one story, it's not just one verse. I have to take the whole verses in context. Would you agree? If you're reading the stories in the Bible, you have to take everything in context, right?
Yeah. Oh, really quick. Yes. So Islamic Defender. Yeah, you can join. This isn't this isn't a one-on-one debate. We have other contradictions we're going to pull up as well. Any other Muslims want to join, feel free. Moderators post the stream link in the chat. Go ahead, Bob.
Yeah, what I'm saying is, would you agree if you're reading the stories in your or anything that you read, you have to take everything in context, right? Would you agree?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm using the context as an error. That's what I'm telling you, Bob. The context
It's not though.
error.
It's not though, bro. It's not. This is the mistake you're making. You're saying that's an error. How is it an error when God has reconciled, yeah, the previous verse and the following verse together, without even mentioning Iblis in the previous verse? All of it combined together gives you an idea that God commanded him. If in fact God says in there, "I commanded you." What stopped you from prostrating? Which means God commanded him in the previous verse. Just because his name wasn't mentioned there, it does not mean he's not been commanded. Because on the later verses, God said, "What prevented you from me from my command?" So clearly,
Yeah, but
there
you
God
can't
is
show
saying to
me.
Iblis,
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
"Yeah, I've commanded you to do something you refused." So you're contradicting yourself here, mate. And also, you're saying those that verse later cannot be put together with this verse. Yes, it can be, because it's the same story, you know. So you're making a massive mistake here, bro. Where
Yeah, make
you're
sure,
saying
make sure.
just because Iblis' name wasn't mentioned in the previous verse, you're saying, "Oh, no, that means Iblis was not part of it." Yes, he's part of it, because the later verses confirms that. You yourself know that.
Yeah, next time make sure you don't interrupt Bob life.
So are you talking to me?
No, I was talking to Life for really interrupting
Okay,
you.
okay, sorry, yeah, okay, yeah, no problem.
He better watch it. He better watch it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm getting nervous from this barbecue. So Bob, so yeah, I hear what you're saying. So here's the problem. Like I already told you before, you're using the context to try to prove me wrong, and I'm using the context as an error. You're trying to convince me that because Iblis responds in this way, that you're saying because he understood that this command was for him, that it's not a contradiction. I'm using the fact that he's even responding in that way that it's a contradiction. You understand what I'm saying? Okay, listen, Bob. Okay, let's use it in a real sense, right? Let's actually use it in a real sense here today. Okay. Now, if I come to you, right?
Yeah.
And like I said, when we gave the example earlier, right? I said, if I have 5 girls in the gym and there's one boy with them, right? And I say, all the girls go grab a football, right? And then I look at the boy and I tell the boy, why didn't you go grab a football? Right? And if he tells me because I'm better than them, does that story make sense? Everybody in the chat, does that story make sense? Does the boy responding to a claim that wasn't given to him make sense? The proper way to have the boy respond is say what? You said to the girls to go grab a football, not me. So the fact that Iblis is responding to this as if he was given a claim is also a problem. You're using it backwards. You're saying, well, Iblis responded in the way to where it seems as if the claim was given to him, so it's a non-contradiction. No, that is also an error as well. In these verses that we're using are problematic. The statements in them, that's what we're dissecting. These are errors, which is causing a contradiction because he can't be an angel and a jinn at the same time. So yeah, that's what you have to understand, Bob. You're not getting it.
Okay. As you've used the example, yeah, and you yourself clearly stated the boy, because the boy wasn't mentioned there, yeah, he would have said, because you did not ask me to do it. You yourself have contradicted yourself here, right? You've actually put yourself in a dangerous situation that you can't come back now. Okay?
Okay.
Now, why did not Iblis respond to God the same way as the boy?
Yo, I can't.
Bro, I got you there.
Oh my gosh. Do you know? Okay.
You know I got
Okay,
you
Bob,
there, bro. You know I got
Bob
you.
Logic. No. Okay, yeah, you got me.
We got
Bob
you, we
Logic.
got
Bob
you,
Logic.
we got
Listen,
you, we got
listen, Bob Logic. Listen. Listen. Do you agree with me that writers can make textual errors?
Not Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Not Allah. Yes,
No,
human
I'm not
beings
talking
do,
about
yeah.
Allah. I'm not talking about Allah. Do you believe that writers can make textual errors?
Yes, human beings. Yes, I accept that.
There we go. That's why Iblis responded the way he responded.
Bro, I can't believe
What's
this,
so
mate.
funny? I don't know. What's so funny?
Avery, save your brother, please. Save him up, please.
Yeah,
Hey,
man.
save
It's
me,
tough,
bro.
man.
Save me.
I can't believe this, mate. I can't believe this. You yourself said to me, the boy would have responded and said, yeah, you did not command me. But Iblis did not say that. Iblis, in fact, said, because I'm better than him, which means he acknowledges that he was being given commandment. Bro, you've destroyed yourself here, unfortunately for you. And it's very early, you know? So,
It is very early. Hey,
we just getting started, huh, Bob Logic? Yeah, Bob. He hasn't seen nothing
bro.
yet. He ain't seen nothing
yo,
yet.
come
Bob
on with it,
Logic.
Bob. Hey,
It's
Bob,
Bob. It's Bob. Hey.
come on, Bob, get your strong points out, man. Go ahead.
All right, so
Yeah, so Iblis would have responded and say, no, God, you did not commanded me. But Iblis did not say that. He said, he said, because I'm better than him, which means he knows he was part of the commandment, bro. You know, in fact, God said to him, what stopped you from my commandment? So, bro, this is a difficult situation for you, you know.
Quick, life,
but
life,
you can talk now.
Hold on, Bob. One second. Life, did you want Islamic Defender to come up now, or maybe?
Yeah, you can bring him up now, bro. Bob needs some help, man.
Oh, okay.
Bob needs some help, man.
So I'll explain why it's not an error.
Sure.
All right, so first of all, wait, can you show the verse first of all, like the verse you were talking about, so I can speak on the half of it?
Yep. Go ahead, right there. You mean to zoom in or something?
G2 then said, oh no, wait. So first of all, let's just first acknowledge that Iblis, he was like the only jinn among the angels. He was a high-ranking jinn, right? So basically, even though he is not an angel, he dwelt among them. So it says that, yeah, it even says prostrate before Adam. So it implies that he commanded the angels to, and the angels did prostrate, but Iblis did not prostrate. So
Okay.
it says, yeah. So it says, surely we created you and then shaped you, then said to the angels, prostrate before Adam. So what can be said is that Allah is stating that he did tell the angels to prostrate before Adam. But this verse never says he never told Iblis. It just shows like a part of the code he said.
Exactly.
So we don't even know.
So once again, I'll do the same thing I did with Bob when he tried to do that same thing, right? So he tried
I did mention that.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm telling him. He tried to say, oh my gosh. Hey, bro, I gotta stop looking at the comment section.
It's all right, bro. It's all right. Take your time. Take your time.
Take your time.
Yo, no, somebody just took me out, bro. I'm not even gonna read it, bro. Dang, I just lost my train of thought. Bob, yeah. So Bob said, you're okay. So you guys are basically using the same argument. He's saying, Bob said, where does it say angels only? Come on.
Well, it doesn't really work in English, I guess, because you have to understand the grammatical structure too, I guess.
Yo, Leaf O'Reilly, you are killing me, bro. All right. Yeah. So basically, what he said is this. It doesn't say angels only, right? Okay. Well, here I'll flip it on you. Where does it say the angels and Iblis?
It doesn't have to. It doesn't have to.
Yeah, it doesn't have to, because first of all, I'll explain why. So first of all, like what I said is that Iblis, he dwelt among the angels. He's only one jinn, so basically Allah
Yeah.
could count him among the angels, even though he's not. Like he's like a high-ranking jinn.
Wait,
And-
hold on. How so?
You don't know the story?
No. You're saying he can count him. He can count him as an angel. Where are you getting that
No,
from?
not count him as an angel. I mean, like he's worshiping Allah like among the angels, like
Yeah.
like in heaven. But he's not like an angel himself. So Allah's saying, yes, I told the angels to prostrate, but Iblis did not prostrate. And Iblis, first of all, Iblis was a worshiper of Allah, but because of his arrogance, because he thought that Adam was made out of clay and he's made out of fire, he thought he was better, so he refused to worship him.
Okay, but was
Yeah,
he an angel?
What?
Can I get in to help you out, bro?
Yeah, help me out, bro. Yeah.
Hold on, simple as that. Islamic defender. Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Was he an angel? Yes or no?
No, but it doesn't say he had to be an angel. It says, it says that Allah told the angels, and Iblis was among them. Not like he's an angel, but he's among them. So let's say, for example, if you're among a
Who
group
was
of
Allah
people,
speaking to?
to the angels, but he says that he told the angels this, but Iblis did not. So it also mentions that he could have told Iblis this, because there are many verses that say Iblis is a jinn.
Wait, Islamic defender. That's where you messed it. You said he could have. What do you mean? Allah could have thought. What are you talking about?
Well,
No,
it only says part of the quote. Part of the quote.
What the brother meant is Allah may not have mentioned everything there, because Allah may have just mentioned only a brief statement there. You know what I mean? That's what the brother is talking about.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Oh, so you're saying there's a missing statement here.
No, what I'm
No,
saying is
Allah's only
Allah can reveal it how he wants. Allah can mention the statements how he wants. Even though the statements is more than that, Allah could have cut it out and just mentioned the one he wants to mention.
Right.
That's what the brother is trying to explain here.
That's what I asked you. So that's
enough?
what I asked you. Are you saying? Hold on, you guys. That's what I asked you. So are you saying that there's a missing statement here? You said he could cut it out if he wants. Okay, fine. Just because you answer yes, there's a missing statement here doesn't mean that that's a problem. If there's a statement or something that he said and it's not here, it would be missing. So if there's a statement that he gave to Iblis that's not here, that doesn't mean that it had to be in there. It's just not there. It's a missing statement. He said it, but it just wasn't in the Quran. Are you saying that there's a statement that Allah made that's not in the Quran to Iblis?
But
no. Can I say why? Because
so you're saying no.
No. I'll explain why, because you guys aren't letting me finish. Okay, so like what I said, that the verse itself mentions that Iblis did not. So Allah saying he told the angels and the angels did. That's basically what he's saying. You have to understand how the grammatical structures will translate from Arabic to English. So first of all, because Arabic is a Semitic language, it would not function the same way as English. So yeah, right, Bob Logic.
Bob Logic, mate, I can't believe you're calling me that, but I'll take that as a compliment.
Yeah, so the word used here has been proven over and over and over again that it's talking about the angels. Period.
Yes, but Iblis was living among them. You guys,
but that doesn't. Okay, so if I live amongst a bunch of dogs, am I a dog?
No, but that's not necessarily the same thing, because you aren't. No, I'll explain why. Because
so
are you?
Wait.
Hang on. Let me respond to that. Let me respond to that.
No. Let me add on to that.
Equal to the dog, so that's not the same thing.
Add on
Iblis
to that.
was living among the angels. He worshipped with the angels. He was.
Let him build, fellas. Let him build.
Let me add on to that. You guys keep trying to over-explain stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
So if I go right, and the owner comes and says, "All the dogs come eat your food." Am I supposed to go eat the food with the dogs?
Well, okay.
If he's telling you to eat the food, if he's telling you to eat the food, he can give you your own food.
No,
Bro.
listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying. No. It's not if I need to come eat the food. If he says all the dogs come eat your food, am I a human supposed to come eat the food? Yes or
First
no?
of
Okay,
all, it doesn't say all the angels do it. It's saying that yes, he told the angels to worship, to prostrate before Adam, and because he told all the angels to prostrate before Adam, he doesn't necessarily say I only told the angels. He said he turned to the angels, but Iblis did not. So Allah just worded it this
Why are
specific
you
way.
adding? Why? Okay, so he
Yeah, look
doesn't
at the
say
disputes
only.
then.
Okay,
Yeah.
so he doesn't say only, but he also doesn't say that there was anybody else he was talking to. So why do you get to add what he didn't say, and you know what I'm saying, and then try to add other people in there when
yeah, but
there's
bro,
literally no one else
Yes.
added in here?
Can I say why it said
live.
but not Iblis, and pull up the verse when it says Iblis is a jinn. Unless you're saying this is a contradiction or something, it's not.
Yeah,
Let's,
you're using the text once again.
let's
Again,
spend a
let's
few
be-
more minutes on this and then move to the next one.
Absolutely, yeah. So you're using the text once again as an issue, right? I mean, you're using the text to prove your point when the text is the actual error. You can't use the text, right, which is an error, to try to prove your point, right? I'm pointing out. I don't think you guys understand. I am pointing out that there is a writer's error, a narrator's error. If I'm pointing out that there's a writer and a narrator's error, that means that the text is the problem. You're using the text to try to refute me, and it just simply will not work. You can't tell me what Iblis said. You can't tell me how Iblis responded in order to prove me wrong. The fact that Iblis responded and what Allah says to Iblis is the actual problem. That's the problem itself.
Are you saying that the Quran
Oh
has
my
errors
God.
in it?
One
say
last,
why.
What he's saying.
one last,
Just
one
pull up
last
the
point.
Spears
So we
or
can move-
Hadith talking about this. You'll see why.
One last point on this. Like, I'll let one Muslim respond to what he just said, and then we're moving on to the next topic.
Oh, can I respond to this, please?
Sure, Bob Logic, it's your show, man.
Okay, brilliant. Yeah, the reason why Iblis was included part of the angels because he was also so pious and righteous. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Even though he's not an angel, he's been seen as an angel. Listen to me carefully,
He's
please.
been given the rank almost like it.
Because he was that righteous and pious, it was almost like sinless. Okay. So you said, oh yeah, he's not. You've given an example. If a man is among dogs, can a man be called a dog? Yes, a man can be called a dog among dogs. If a man behaves like dogs, if he behaves like dogs, people can call him in that sense. But it doesn't mean he's a dog, bro. You know. So
Right.
you know that's the explanation. I know. Yeah, you're trying to get. You're trying to live. I know you're trying to get a point here, but you've been called out already, and you know it. So you know.
And it's still early. And it's still early.
And it's still early. We only 30 minutes in, man. Humans are dogs, man, according to Muslims.
No, I said if
No,
the
he
humans
said he
behave
behaves
like
like
dogs,
them.
Avery.
All
Please
right.
don't misquote me.
His name's not Avery.
So apparently,
But,
if you're amongst dogs and they call the dogs to go eat, you're gonna go eat. All right, thanks.
said behave like them.
What's the next contradiction that you have for the Muslims? Life?
Oh, wait a second, man. Wait, Avery, can I say one thing before you go on?
One thing about what?
So basically, we'll come back to this later, but basically, man, I made a response to your other video about like the burn and judgments, like a 50-second short, and
Oh,
I'll
cool.
show it to you later, man.
Cool. That should be fun. All right.
Yeah, man.
All right. So the next objection. What's the next objection?
Isn't Islamic Defender? He said he wanted to respond to something.
Yeah,
No.
if you want to see it now, but I said we'll move on to and then we'll come back to that. I'll show it to you later, man.
Oh, okay. All right, cool. So the next one is let's have fun with this one. This is one we were talking about earlier, about a week ago. Is there anyone that can bear the burdens of another in the Quran?
Yes and no.
Wait, can I show you the video of something? Okay. I'll send it to you in the stream.
It
Give me 1
depends
second.
in
I actually made a good response
in
to
what context. It depends in what context. For instance, if a man commit a sin alone by himself,
Yeah.
can you hear me?
I think Islamic Defender needs to mute up. Go ahead.
Yeah, so if somebody commits a sin alone by themselves alone, yeah, they bear the sin for themselves alone. Okay.
But if you mislead others, you bear the sin because you're leading other people astray without knowledge.
Yes,
That's
yes,
what that
bro.
verse
I'm
is
coming to
referring
that,
to, man.
bro. I'm coming to that, please.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right. Okay. The other one is, for instance, if you mislead people like Iblis, the way Iblis is doing things, Satan. Okay. Iblis, if he misleads people, those people will carry the sin. Iblis will also carry the sin because Iblis is the one that is pushing them, tempting them to do these things. So you have to look at it in context, bro. That is not a contradiction. It's not.
Yeah, it is a contradiction. Read 35:18 for me.
35:18. Okay, 1 second.
It's right there on the screen.
So I can't see it properly on the screen, mate. I'll use my own Quran. Sorry.
Sure,
Okay,
go
yeah.
ahead.
Do you want to read it out?
Yeah, I'll read it out. So it says,
Okay, yeah. All right.
so it says, no soul burdened with sin will bear the burden of another. Period. And if a sin burdened soul cries for help with its burden, none of it will be carried even by a close relative. You can only warn those who stand in awe of their Lord without seeing him. And establish prayer, whoever purifies themselves, they only do so for their own good, and to Allah is the final return. So, what does it clearly say here? No soul. I want to ask you, does no soul mean every soul on earth?
Okay.
What?
Yes or no?
Is that your question? Do you wanna answer that, Islamic defender? Because I've got the
I
answer.
can answer that.
I'll give you a chance to speak as well.
Okay, wait. You want to go, Bob, or me? I can answer this one. So
Okay,
basically,
go on.
you
Yeah,
guys can
go on.
do it. Okay, so basically, you guys are actually taking this out of context. Let me tell you why. So basically, what this verse is referring to is basically the concept of Jesus. You guys believe Jesus bore your sins and he became a curse for you. Like he basically suffered. So basically, what God's saying is that someone won't suffer for someone else's sin.
He
But
asked a direct question.
what this means is that the other verse you guys brought up about someone taking someone else's sins. If you
Wait,
mislead
hold
someone
up.
without
Wait,
knowledge, which that verse is referring to,
Islamic. Before you continue, Life asked a very specific question. So if you can deal with his specific question, because he's trying to build a point off of that.
well, it's a fallacy. So
Let's
I explained
see.
why I thought.
Let's see.
It's about two different contexts,
Okay. So
and I just explained that. You guys,
so
if you let me fully finish.
no soul doesn't mean no soul.
No, it means no soul, but it's referring to a specific context. Because you guys believe Jesus was innocent, he was sinless, he suffered your burdens on the cross.
This has nothing to do with Jesus.
Okay, bro.
It does. That's what that verse is
Muslim
referring
defender.
to.
Can I respond to this, please?
Yeah, Sean.
Okay, so what the brother is saying is that in the sense no one can carry a weight. It's talking about in the sense people who are innocent, people who are not involved in the crime or in the sin. This is what God is talking about in that sense.
Where does it qualify that?
Because if you look at it in context, you will know this is talking about the people who haven't pushed anyone, who have not encouraged anyone to commit a sin.
Show the context and show that it's talking about those specific people. Show that.
Because
how about you pull up the sphere?
No, not the top sphere. You said the context. You said the context will tell you that it's talking about a specific kind of people that are not leading people astray and yada yada. So please show me from the context that it's not talking about, that it qualifies the particular people it's talking about in 35:18.
So you want the full context for that?
I don't remember where it says in the verse in the Quran, but I'm sure it's where it says
chapter 35:18. Read the verses before that, read it after that, and tell me where, in the context, if it qualifies the type of person that it's talking about in verse 18. So read 15, 16, whatever you got to do. Go to chapter 35, read before 18, read after 18, and show me where it qualifies the person that it's talking about.
Okay, give me a second, because I'm sure there's verses in the Quran where it says that. Give me a second.
I don't even know why I'm in this.
No way, brother. Bob Logic, you can't go to the other verses. You have to stay right there in that context, because that's what you're saying. Yeah, you're saying that in that same chapter, because if you're talking about context, yeah, then it's not in another surah and it's not in another ayah. So you have to stay within that same context. You can't just jump from chapter to chapter. It has to be within that same ayah. So did you want to read the ayah before that one and then the one after, and then you could explain to us what the context is?
Are you guys pulling up the verse now?
I mean, it's up to you guys. You guys said in the context it's talking about somebody different, something different, or it qualifies the people that it talks about. So show us in the context that it does that.
Well, I can show you that.
Okay, good. Because what Life read,
So
when he
in
read the
part of-
verse, it was
yeah.
a blanket statement.
So in 35:18, the verse you quoted, a part of it says, "And if a sin is burdened, soul cries for help with its burden." So this is basically talking about, and I'll explain to you why later. This is basically talking about something like Jesus. Like, you guys believe he suffered for you, and this is obviously talking about that. Because otherwise, the other verse is clearly talking about those who have been misled without knowledge and those who are intentionally misleading others.
All right, so let me ask you this. I got you. So it says that not even no burdened soul, that even if a burdened soul cries for help, not even a close relative can help them, right?
Can I explain that?
That's what it says, right? No, I'm not asking for an explanation. I'm not asking for an explanation. Let's deal with what the text says. So the text says that even a burdened soul, if they cry out for help, that no one can help them. No one can take that burden off that soul, correct?
Yeah, but like the other thing is already the other person's burden. If let's cast an example. Listen, for example, if you mislead a child, it is your burden because they don't have knowledge and you have knowledge.
No, you're going away to another verse that contradicts what we're reading. I'm talking about what we're reading. What we're reading says that not even if that burdened soul asks for help, can it receive help? Because that's just the rule. No burdened soul can bear the burdens of another, right? It just makes that blanket statement, right?
I think
nowhere in there.
I think that's talking about another context, which I said.
I know you think that. That's why I'm asking, can you show me in the context of verse 18 that it qualifies the type of person that it's talking about?
Give me 1 second. Let me pull up with the sphere.
Just give a second, mate. I'm checking it out. I'm sure.
Why are you going to the tafsir? I mean, just explain to us from the ayah. I mean, this is what you were talking about, yeah? So just explain it to us. Because what you Muslims are doing is
regardless of sphere, we're just going in circles. That's what I mean.
No, it's bitter. Because you're saying that the context says it. Well, just explain it to us from the context. This isn't hard. Just explain it.
From the context of the verse.
I thought I already explained it.
No, what you did is you gave me an interpretation.
Let me read the verse.
Let
me show you part of.
You gave me an interpretation, Islamic Defender, without proving your interpretation from the text. That's what I'm saying. You're saying, because look, don't think that we are misunderstanding. We understand fully what you're saying. You're saying that one verse is talking about the context in which that person is a sinner. They didn't lead anyone astray, but that and so like they wasn't led astray, so their sin is on them. While the other context is talking about specifically that's this person leads someone astray, so therefore they will be bearing the burdens of the person they misled. Okay.
Yeah.
So we understand what you're saying. My question is, can you show me that from the text that 35:18 is talking about a specific situation rather than a blanket statement when it says no bearer of burdens can bear the burdens of another, not even if that burdened soul asks for help can it receive help. So can you show me that that is talking about a specific qualification of people rather than a blanket overall statement?
Okay, Avery, do you believe this statement I'm saying is true? Do you believe that in the Quran? Do you believe this statement is true?
What statement?
Avery, sorry, live. Yeah, not you, Avery. Sorry, live. Do you believe that this Quranic statement is true? And then I'll get back to you.
So no.
All right, so okay. So I mean, regardless of whether I think it's true or not, bro, I really don't. It's we're talking about contradictions, not whether I think it's true or not.
No. I want you to like answer me, please, yeah, and then I'll get back to you. Because to us, yeah, we don't need another verse in the Quran that will explicitly state that this is talking about certain people. Okay, to us, yeah, to us.
Tafsir, I'll trust me, bro.
Trust me, bro.
Trust me, bro.
To us, yeah, the people who've committed sin by themselves alone, yeah, without any influence, you are responsible for your sins alone.
Show me that.
Bro, I don't have to show you that, bro. That's the problem here, bro.
Yeah,
you want me to show it to you? I don't have to show it to you because
this Rocco.
If I said Jesus is God, what would you ask me?
Well, I can always show it to you in your Bible. He's not God, but showing you many.
I didn't ask that. I asked you if I said Jesus is God, what will you respond to me with? What would you ask me?
Hey, bro. I'll say to you.
You would ask you what verse, and you would show it to us.
You'll ask me to show you. But then you would also
use your interpretation too.
You'll ask me to show you.
No. You didn't let me finish. You'd use some of your interpretation too. Some of it. Like, so
here's my point. Here's my point. My point is that you will ask me to show you from the Bible where I get that from. So and now imagine this. Imagine I said and I responded to you when you said, if you say, can you show me where Jesus is God in the Bible? And I respond to you with, I don't have to show you that. To us, he's God.
Okay.
But can I give an example of that?
Is that a fair response, Islamic Defender?
Avery,
if I say I don't have to show you.
No. Can I just say one more thing? So
I just want to know if that's a fair response, and then go ahead with your explanation.
Oh, okay. So okay. I would say that's a fair response from your point of view, and I would say probably not. But listen, first of all, can I say my point? First of all, you know how in Gospel of Mark, when Jesus says he can forgive sins, and then the Pharisees say no one can forgive sins but God alone.
What does this have
to do with? You would say
anything?
that means he's God, right? So that's what I mean. Like that's like the context I'm using. The type of context.
Okay, Avery. Oh, life, yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think, yeah? If you guys go and commit crime alone by yourselves, yeah, is that your own crime? Or if somebody pushes you, encourages you to do it, yeah, is that your own crime? Or also the person that's encouraging you, he's also part of it?
Yeah. So, if what I do is my crime.
Okay, brilliant. Yeah. What about if somebody encourages you and push you to do it, like Satan or a friend of you or somebody you know is telling you go and commit a crime, like to murder someone or to rape somebody, yeah? Is that you alone or the person that's telling you to do it as well is also part of it?
So I answered the question. What I do is my crime. What someone else does is their crime. What someone else does is their sin. What I do is my sin. My sin is my sin. Someone else's sin is their sin. That's answering your question.
Encourage you, right?
What about the one that's encouraging you, though? What about the one that's telling you, go on, come on, go on, do it?
I just answered it, Bob. That's their sin.
Oh, there you go.
That's also yours too,
there you go. Because they push you to do something without them doing nothing, they also have a sin. That's what the Quran is talking about in that sense.
Okay, cool. No, it's not. So watch this. Okay, cool. So watch this. Since you think that's what it's saying. All right, cool. I'm glad that you said that, because and I want to point out before I open this screen up, I love how you went from, oh, I think the Quran says it in there, let me go find it, to just trust me. And now you're trying to make a case that you know that you know what you're talking about now, and you don't. So here, let me just say this. Let me just show you this here. You said that's what it's talking about, right? Well, okay, well, why does it say this? Let them bear their burdens in full on the day of judgment, as well as some of the burdens of those they misled without knowledge.
Notice
Which
the word
verse is
some.
this? Which chapter and verse?
Wait, hold on, Bob. I thought that they were, carrying their own burdens. Why are they carrying somebody else's?
Bro.
Well, it says their own, but it's also their own too, because if they're misleading someone, they're intentionally lying to someone.
Exactly.
They will cause them to perceive something in a different way, causing them to walk on the path of corruption.
Guys,
okay, I'm glad that you said that as well. I'm glad you said that as well. Let me read 29:13. Yet they will certainly carry their own burdens, as well as other burdens along with their own. Oh, wait, didn't you just said, oh yeah, that was their own? That was their
it
own,
counts
right?
as their own too.
So why are they carrying others on the other side? Why are they carrying others on the side of their own?
Because they misled someone. They misled the other
people. This is the one I was looking for, mate. So it is there, mate. It is there.
That's the one you're looking for?
May I ask you guys a question? Wait, can I say something for 1 second?
The
so
one
basically,
that
I have a question.
That's the one you was looking for. All right, bro.
Wait, live. Can I say something, man?
I don't remember everything in the Quran, mate. Okay, and I don't write things down like you guys. Okay.
You don't what?
I don't write every. I
was sure it was there.
We don't write. It's in our heart, bro. That's the miracle.
Oh yeah.
Oh wait, how you do this?
Wait,
how you do that?
Live.
You Avery, you're on the way of becoming a Muslim, then, all right? Because you're a Hafiz.
I am a Hafiz, but I'm an original Hafiz. I'm an Hafiz of the original Quran, not the tampered with one.
Okay.
Yo, Avery,
I'm gonna read this out, yeah.
We gotta talk to your guy.
Those who disbelieve say to the believers, follow our way and we will bear the weight of your mistakes. Now listen to this in context. They will not bear the weight of a single one of their mistakes. Truly they are liars. They will bear their own burdens and other burdens together with their own. There you go. On the day of rising, there will be question about what they have invented.
You just read a contradiction.
Clearly there is stating there.
Bob, just expose yourself, bro.
Yeah, Bob,
yes.
you said something wrong, man. That's not the right interpretation of that, bro.
No, don't help him.
Nah, let him read. Let him read, Bob.
Okay, let me read it out again, please. All right.
Wait,
let me read it out again.
He's doing what? Islamic defender?
I was telling you guys earlier when I said that they were creating bitter.
He said he can't get this stuff.
Wait, Islamic defender. Wait, hold on. Islamic defender. What is Bob doing?
He's destroying himself because he's saying like the wrong context again and again. Like I just said the right context, man. I said the right context. I said, but basically, if you mislead, I have a question. If you mislead someone, do you think you own that part of the sin too?
You asking us or Bob?
I'm asking you.
According to the Quran.
No, not according to the Quran. According to like your own belief.
Because we're talking about the Quran, but okay.
No, I know, but we're gonna come back to the Quran. That's my point. We'll come back to it.
Sure, no problem.
You can't go outside the Quran. That's what he's saying. You can't just say outside of the Quran because in the Quran it says that. If you're gonna say that it doesn't say that, then you have to prove it from the ayah. If it's not in the ayah, then you are obliged to believe it. Yeah, so you can't ask us what we believe, because if it was anything else, you would just say, well, the Quran says this, the Quran says that. The Quran says Jesus is not God, but you Christians believe that. So no, you need to stick to what the Quran actually says. If it doesn't say that, then you can't go with some obscene, weird interpretation of what it's saying.
So, man. This is a tough one, guys. I don't see how you guys reconcile this. I mean, especially Bob. He just really
Well, I
he
told
read.
you the
He,
reconcile of it, but you said
think,
that's my own
I
interpretation. Right?
think I've made a
well, yeah,
mistake in
'cause-
this one.
well, so hold on. Let's try to deal with this, guys. I mean, I honestly, like, we're all humans. We're all humans. We all have sense. We all can think. You know, we're all here with our minds. Okay, so one verse says, in the verse in 29:12, it says that they will not bear anyone else's burdens at all. Period. They will bear the full burden of their own. Right. Then the next verse says that they will bear their own burdens and some of the burdens of others.
Yeah.
Right, guys. That's literally a contradiction. It cannot be both, man. Like, a contradiction is something that cannot be A and non-A at the same time. So, guys, work with me here. I'm trying to work. I took the time and I understood I understand the explanations of the verses, but let's look at the text verbatim. It's a contradiction. How do y'all explain that? It says they will bear their own burdens in full. The next verse says they'll bear their own burdens and the burdens of others.
Well, it says they will bear their own sins in full, but it also says that they will bear the other ones too. So their own in full means like their own sin, but their own sin elevated by the other person's sin. But that's also
elevated.
talking about the people they misled, like the other verse.
No. So yes, that is talking about people they misled. True, but here's the particular part. It says that they will bear their own burdens in full, and will bear the burdens of others, some of others. Okay, so they have their own burdens, and then they also have other people's burdens that they will be bearing, right? That they've misled.
Yeah, because
So
it's also their sin too.
So their own sins and the sins of others will be upon them.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
While the other says that you cannot bear the burdens of others at all. It literally says no bearer of burdens can bear the burdens of another.
No, this
Period.
is Avery.
Hold on,
This is talking about.
Let Islamic defend it,
So
because you gave yours.
it's talking about the other verse. Wait, so you're talking about one verse right now, right? Two verses in the same chapter, right?
Mm-hmm. And then 35:18.
So basically, what it's saying, the first part of the verse is saying the people are accountable for their own things, what they do, their own sins. So someone can't save someone else. Let's say if someone does something and the other person did not do that thing, that person cannot, like let's say someone does something, they steal something, right? The other person cannot be accountable for that thing.
Exactly.
But if I encourage someone to steal something, I also bear that. Am I wrong by that? That's what the verse is talking about, right?
So right. So if the verse, hold on. So that's the contradiction. It's
That's
saying
it's not a contradiction.
Okay. So do you know what is a contradiction? Tell me what a contradiction is.
Two words
Contradiction means
supposed to
two
be
things
the
against
same,
each other,
but
but that's
they
not against
differ.
each other. You can say that.
I can't hear you.
So
Two
what I
words
said.
supposed to be the same, but they differ.
If the man is talking,
All right.
you
Okay.
can't
All right.
overtalk him.
So what I said is contradiction is two things against each other, but that's not against each other. Like what I said,
Okay.
if you steal something,
you don't
someone
have to
else that
repeat
did not
yourself.
steal something cannot get that blame. But if I encourage someone to steal something, I get that blame too.
Got you. So if you encourage someone to steal something, and they go and steal something, that action of stealing is placed on you for encouraging them to go steal something.
No,
correct?
not just you, but not just you. You also get a part of it too in the same way.
I just said
in
that.
the verse it says they will bear
Just
some of theirs.
Just follow me.
Yeah. Finish. Yeah.
Because they're not going to bear all the people's burdens. They're only going to bear the burdens of the actions that they misled them to do. That's what some of it means. Like if they didn't encourage them to do other things, but they encouraged them to do particular things, then those particular things is what's going to be added unto them. We on the same page?
Wait a second. I know what you're gonna do. You're gonna say that verse says in full. What it means in full is
No,
that
that's not
specific action,
what I'm
man.
saying at all. That's
Yeah,
not
yeah,
what-
yeah.
Don't try to do that, man. I'm God logic. Don't try to do that. I'm
Yeah,
saying
let's do that. Okay,
I'm
let's see what
saying
happens.
good. So I'm saying that when it says some of their burdens, it's talking about those particular actions that they misled them to do, that the person misled them to do. Those particular actions will be placed onto the person who misled them to do those things. Does that make sense?
Wait, can you repeat that part again? I didn't hear.
So
Sorry.
it says, so the verse says that they will bear their own burdens and some of the burdens of those they misled, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the some are talking about the actions that that let's see me.
It's
going
talking
to be
about in
punished-
the sense of
no,
some
no,
sins,
I know
some of the sins.
exactly. So I'm only taking the burdens of the sins that I misled them to do, not the sins that they did on their own. Only the sins that I misled them to do will be placed onto me.
Yeah.
Make sense, Islamic Defender?
Yeah, that's what I said, and that's what Bob
Okay,
said
cool.
too.
All right. So if now the sins that they committed because of me will be placed onto me, I'm going to be taking those sins because I encouraged them, taught them, or whatever to go and do that. So they did it because of me. I'm the source of it.
But
So
yeah, they
what
also
they
get a part
did-
of it too. Some of it. Yeah.
No problem. But their action that they did, that I led them to do, I'm going to be responsible for their action. Even though I didn't do it, I led them to do it, and so therefore I'm going to take the punishment for that.
Yes, the ones
You
you've
would. You
encouraged
tell
them.
someone to rob a bank if you encourage them.
Okay.
Yeah, of course.
Yes, if they go rob the bank, if I teach them to rob the bank and they rob the bank, I'm going to be punished for them robbing the bank.
Yeah, but if
All right.
you
Okay.
Well, it's just,
So now the verse says, the 35:18 and others says that no bearer of burdens can bear the burdens of another. Period. It doesn't qualify it. It's a blanket statement. No bearer of burdens.
Avery,
I said
this
that's talking about the
this verse
concept of
here-
like someone dying for someone's sins, like what you said. man.
Okay,
Take it out of context.
so if you're saying that I'm taking it out of context, I want you to show me how. That's
I did
what
it
we've been
earlier,
asking.
man. I said a part of it. Let me just pull up the verse again.
All right,
right now.
go to 35:18. Go to 35:18 and show me how I'm using that out of context when it says no bearer of burdens can bear the burdens of another, even if that burdened soul asks for help. Not even a close relative can help them. Show me how I'm using that out of context, please.
Okay.
Avery, come
I'll
on,
show you.
Avery, come on.
So it
That,
says,
like,
and
what you're saying, doesn't make any sense at all. Because that verse that you're talking about, no burden can have another person's burden. That's talking about in the sense, if the person did not encourage you, did not
Show
do
me
nothing to
that.
you.
Show me that.
Yeah, but this verse here, 29:12. Yeah.
Show me that 35:18 is talking about a specific people.
It doesn't have to, Avery. It
All
doesn't
right.
have to.
And when you say that, you have disqualified
have
yourself
to.
from the discussion.
I'll
Islamic
show it.
Defender, you're up.
Yeah. So my internet's kind of slow. Give me like 2 seconds. I'm gonna pull it up.
Gotta stop adding to the
So it
text,
says, no soul.
35:18. No soul.
35:18. But wait. So 35:18 is not very clear, but there's another verse that says basically the same thing.
It's
Like
not
it's not like the
clear.
two other verses. Can I
What do
say
you
it?
mean it's not clear?
Whoa. It's
Are
not
you guys
what?
gonna bring up the contradiction about how the Quran is supposed to be clear and
Yeah, that
It's
comes
not a
next.
contradiction. I'll say why. So 16:25, because 35:18 does not have context. This is the upper verse I was technically referring to. So the verse,
Time out. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I
Yeah.
quoted 35:18.
Yeah.
So
no,
you
I mean, yeah,
Aha.
6:1. Yeah.
16:25. Well done, bro.
Bob Logic.
Yeah.
You're on hold. As soon as you said,
Okay.
as soon as you said, I don't have to show you this, you have now put yourself in the timeout zone.
No, that's not what I meant. I said I'll show it to you.
Anyway, I don't.
No, not you, Islamic defender. That was Bob Logic. Bob
Oh,
Logic.
okay.
All right. Let him speak. Let him speak.
So Islamic defender is trying to engage with this directly, and I appreciate that. So let Islamic defender cook. So show 35:18 is what I quoted. No bearer of burdens can bear the burdens of another, not even if they ask for help. Show me how I'm using that out of context, that is specific to a specific type of situation and not a blanket statement regarding all souls that have burdens.
Can I tell you why? So basically, the two other verses, the other one I told you about, when I said it's a specific context, that one isn't very explicit. But there's another verse that says the same thing, but it says in more context. So 164 of the Quran says, "Say, is it other than Allah I should desire as Lord?" Okay, let me just skip that. It says, "And every soul earns not blame except against itself, and no bearer of burdens will bear against a burden." But it says that unless that this person does something, then they won't get the blame, like this specific thing. But then
read it out. Wait. Read it out. Read the verse. I'm very familiar with that verse. Read it out in full. Watch.
Okay.
164. You there?
Read it out loud in full, not in your head.
No, I think you good, Islamic defender? Your connection good?
Yeah, this verse doesn't specifically say deeper. I couldn't find a specific verse.
I know. That's what I'm saying. What I'm saying, bro, is that everywhere you go, whenever the Quran mentions that no bearer of burdens can bear the burdens of another, it's a blanket statement. Okay,
but God logic
every single time. Give me like 30 seconds, guys. Let me 30 seconds to flush this out. Everywhere you go, it says no bearer of burdens can bear the burdens of another. It's a blanket statement. It never qualifies it ever. It's a blanket statement, right? But then the problem is when you go to the other verses that we talked about, 16, 25, 29, 13 and whatnot, where it says that, well, actually, a bearer of burdens can bear the burdens of another if they misled them. So they will be bearing some of those burdens. So that's where the contradiction is. It's either no bearer of burdens can bear the burdens of another, or there are bearer of burdens that can bear some burdens of another. It can't be both.
But what me and Bob were saying, we were saying that's even though the verse doesn't say it specifically, that's what it seems like it's saying. Because if someone can call out for their family members, that's probably saying that because they did not do that specific thing. That's
exactly
that's you reading into the text. It does not say that. See, notice how you hold on, and then we can go and move on to another one. But I want you guys to see what just happened here. You said you had to resort to, it seems like the verse, that's what the verse is talking about. So now that is you, this is eisegesis, when you read into the text instead of exegeting the text, taking out what the text says. You're reading into the text and saying, oh, well, it seems like it's saying that. Well, no, that's not. So if you're saying that it seems like it says that, and that's your argument, well, I'm perfectly valid in holding my position that it's simply that I'm going with the explicit statement, no bearer of burdens can bear the burdens of another, period. I'm perfectly valid in that because I'm not going with what it seems like. I'm going with what it says.
Avery, you can't take 1625 and reconcile them.
1625 and reconcile it with what?
With the other verse that says no bearer can bear another person's burden. You can't take them and put them together and reconcile them, can't you? For you to understand the context of it.
No, there's no reconciliation.
My God!
That's why there's a contradiction.
The other verse where it says no burden can bear another person's burden. It's talking about in the sense of the ones who have not encouraged you to do a sin.
Again, Bob, logic. Stop telling me that and show me that. See, this is one of the.
You yourself have acknowledged that. You said yes.
Bob Logic. This is what I learned in theater class and coming up and doing acting and things of this nature, one of the number one rules in storytelling is to show, not tell, right? And that's what I like. I really love showers and not tellers.
Yeah,
So
but can you use
Wait,
so
can you use your command?
Instead of you telling me,
wait
what
a
it
minute.
is,
Yeah, okay.
show me.
Wait, got logic. Wait. About this context, you know how you said because that verse doesn't specifically say it. This might be off topic, but you remember when
Oh my God,
what's his name,
bro.
Isaiah? You said because 42 and 22. That's basically like you're doing, but this one actually is specific. That's what we're trying to say.
So here's what I'm saying. I showed verses where that allow for my interpretation, where Ahaziah and is kidnapped by the Philistines and Arabians and all this kind of stuff. I gave verses for that leads to, okay, so it's possible they ruled 2 times at 22 and 42. I have verses for that. I'm asking for a verse in the context of bearing the burdens of another. No bearer of burdens can bear the burdens of another. That context is talking about a specific group of people, a specific situation.
My God.
But okay, but the biblical scholars did not agree with you. That's the thing. When I know you said you showed verses, with all due respect, man, but I was wondering why they did not agree with you. Unless they don't know the Bible.
It's very possible that it's possible I'm wrong. It's possible that my understanding of that is not truly the understanding. I could be wrong. So what? How does this help you?
I know, but the same thing you're saying, because if it's the word of God, it cannot have contradictions. So that's what I'm trying to say.
So how does this help you?
Oh my God. Avery, you yourself have...
Bob, you're on timeout. Islamic Defender. How does this help you?
So you're saying because I'm reading into it, but I'm saying because I'm not saying you're reading into it, but I'm saying that what I don't get is how the biblical scholars don't agree with you. And if we apply the same logic,
how does that help you? How does that help you with this?
It doesn't technically, but I'm just saying. For example,
so this is a waste of time. Come on, man.
Yeah, can we move on to another topic? Not this one, man. We're just going in circles with this.
So did we win?
No, never.
Wait.
I just want to, before we move on, y'all don't got to respond to this. I just wanted to add on to.
I want to know if we won. Did we win on the Defender?
Of course we won. Look at.
Let him answer.
You never defeat the Quran, never.
Islamic Defender, did we win in this one?
We won, man.
God logic. Can I send you a link to a video, man?
Sure, but did we win in this particular discussion? Did we win this one?
Well, it's yesterday's discussion. I didn't get to speak, but it's my response. If you want to see it
today, did the Christians win today, or did you win?
What?
Did we win in this discussion about the bearer burdens, or did you win?
I would say we won, but you're not letting us show you the context in the same way. We showed the What I mean is, we showed the context, but that verse specifically, because it doesn't have the specific wording. You guys are rejecting it. That's what I'm trying to say.
No, I'm giving you leeway. I'm saying that you can use the verses prior or even after. Show me in the because you said I took it out of context. So show me how I'm wrong based on the context. That's what I did. That's what I asked. And I got Bob saying, I don't have to show you that, Avery. I don't have to show you that logic. That's what he said. So he's out.
No, I said, Avery, yeah, it's there, but I can't remember where it is. So I don't have to show it to you. All right.
Okay. All right. Go ahead. Like, take us on another
right.
one.
How does that make it any better? So before we move on to the next one, here you guys were saying something about it not being for each person or something like that, right? This is literally Tafsir Ibn Kathir. He holds more weight than you guys. Okay, says mankind is in need of Allah, and each person will carry his own, let's leave that right there, own burdens on the day of resurrection. On each person will carry his own burdens on the day of resurrection. You know what verse he's talking about? The exact verse you guys were saying, or Islamic Defender was saying is, what does he say? Not clear, right? Which contradicts his Quran in itself. 35:18. No soul burdened with sin will bear the burden of another. It's clear as day. Ibn Kathir understood that this is one specific statement, and it's talking about souls, period. No soul. That's no soul. It's clear as day. No soul means no soul. So if we go to 29:13 and it says someone else will carry their own burdens as well as other burdens along with their own, that's not one person carrying his own. That's one person carrying his own as well as other burdens along with their own. That is a pure contradiction, bro. So, I mean, we can move to the next one. I don't know how you guys think that you didn't lose this, but this is a pure contradiction, bro. This is honestly.
I think we can win the next one. I sent you a link in the StreamYard, guys.
Yeah, this is honestly clearer than the Iblis and Angel one, to be honest. This is the most clearest contradiction ever. But yeah, we can move to the next.
There's another super clear one.
Why do I keep?
I like this.
You guys
I kind of like it too, though. I'm not gonna lie. I like it too, though. This is you because you're the host, man. It's your show, so I like it.
Well, you the one doing the debating, man. You you started distributing everything, man. Whatever.
All right, man.
There you go. All right, so
I don't like that.
Yeah, I'm the host, I guess. All right, so the next contradiction, guys. Let's go ahead and move on. Oh, just a little nugget on the because you said something about this. It's talking directly against this idea that Jesus can die for our sins. So you notice how it says that no bearer of burdens can bear the burdens of another, Islamic Defender?
Yeah, but the thing is that technically, I'm just saying, man. But technically, if someone is deceiving someone and misleads someone, it's technically their own burden in the first place.
You're jumping.
No,
Focus on what I asked you.
Yeah.
So you notice how it says that no bearer of burdens can bear the burden of another, right? Like if someone is bearing burdens, they themselves can't bear another's burdens because they're a burden. They bear burdens themselves. Right?
Yeah, but I'm saying if someone misleads someone, that's their own burden.
Let's just move on to another topic.
Hold on, Bob.
Yeah, can we move on? By the way, got logic.
No, because I want. Hold on, dude, man. Hold
Yeah.
on, because I'm actually getting somewhere.
Yeah.
So, according to Christians, does Jesus bear burdens? Does he have his own burdens
actually,
that he bears?
Because it says in Corinthians something that he became a curse for
who?
Because anyone who's hanged on a pole is cursed, and Jesus became a curse for you, is what you believe.
For us, right? Okay, so was Jesus himself? Did he bear his own sins? Did he have any sins to bear himself?
No, but I'm just saying, man, because you believe
that's
that.
The point. Well, that's the point. Yeah. So because Jesus is not a bearer of burdens himself, this verse in 35:18 and none of those verses in the Quran, none of those verses apply to Jesus, because Jesus is without burdens, so he actually can bear the burdens of another.
Can I see why that's more unjust in a way?
What?
Can I see why that's more unjust in a way?
Why that?
I'm just saying.
Why that's
because you believe Jesus. I said why that's more unjust.
We're not talking about if it's unjust or just. That's not the point.
I thought you man. I didn't get that.
My point is that you said that this verse was talking about Christians' belief in Jesus and him dying for our sins. You understand? You said that applies to Jesus. But, so I'm saying that doesn't apply to Jesus because he was without burdens. You get it?
Yeah.
So this doesn't apply to Jesus. Jesus he can still bear burdens because he doesn't have any burdens himself. He only bears.
Yeah, I use that as an example, but it can also apply to like the polytheistic pagans and their beliefs.
You said also like it doesn't apply to Jesus at all. They can't because he's sinless. You understand?
Can we move on because we're going in circles with this.
We're not even going in circles. I'm just waiting for you to get the point. Do you get the point?
I know. I said that. I said okay. We get that.
All right, cool. All right, Life, what's the next contradiction?
That was 2 for me. I mean, unless you want to do the is the Quran clear?
Maybe Amen Podcast got one.
Yeah. Somebody else can do one.
Yeah, we did that yesterday, right?
Yeah, I did.
Why don't you
Can we
get your
do
own
it?
contradictions?
Yeah, because you guys don't do your own contradictions, don't you? You guys ignore that. That's why I think it's kind of hypocritical. Because if we're talking about contradiction in the Quran, we also have to talk about the ones in the Bible. When you say the Quran's false because of contradiction, that means the Bible's also false because of contradictions.
We actually never said that. Actually, your book says that.
No, I know, but I'm saying that basically, well, you basically would apply to the same standard, would you not?
No,
We don't
Because-
accept contradictions in the Quran. We don't accept it, but you guys do.
Do you think that exactly? So we're going with your criteria, and we're addressing your criteria. Do you think that a phone book is from God?
A phone book?
Yeah,
No. Why would a phone book be from God?
because it doesn't have any contradictions.
Well, the phone book's not talking about theology all over
So
again.
what?
So
So
I'm
what?
just saying, man, that's not really a
So-
very good comparison. You could
so-
say a history book.
So
That's
so
better
this is what we're saying. A book that has contradictions, or a book that does not have contradictions, does not make it inspired or divine in any sense, any way at all.
Yeah, but
Okay.
No,
that's
Avery,
true. But
it's saying had the book, yeah? It's talking about the Quran itself here. Talking about the book, the Quran, had
I
it been
know.
from somewhere else,
I
yeah?
know.
Older than Allah, yeah? It
would
wouldn't
have
be a
had-
contradiction. No,
So-
it's
so-
talking
so-
about
So what's the antecedent to that? What's the implication? If this book had contradictions, then that's proof that it's not from God. So
That's right, yeah.
what's the other way around? If this book does not have any contradictions, then that's proof that it is from God, right?
the verse is talking to the Quran only,
Answer the question.
explicitly to the Quran only.
No, it makes a claim. It says, if this book is not from Allah,
Mhm.
then you will find in it many contradictions. So you reverse the claim. If this book has no contradictions, then it's from Allah. So a phone book is from Allah. My 4th grade algebra book is from Allah. Those books have no contradictions.
You know, Avery, you actually have to, if you're, because the verse actually says, اختلاف كثير. So actually, what you guys are doing is incredibly important because you're finding many contradictions. So whatever contradiction that you go to next, it will be 3. I mean, I don't know, according to these blokes on stage, how many is many for them, but yeah, it's actually quite funny.
Hello, are you still there, guys?
Yeah, we're still here, man. Amen Podcast. Do you have a contradiction you want to share with them?
Yeah, I do actually. If you go to Surah 3, verse 7, and juxtapose it with Surah 12, verse 111. And I'm curious as to what they say about that.
All right, guys. Life, you're still here, man. You can't check out now. You're here for the long run.
Man. All right, what we doing, man? I feel like we won already, man. I feel like they got their Muslim brain on. They got their Muslim brain on too much, man. It's tough. You know, it's hard to seep through that Muslim brain, bro. You got to remove that first, and then we'll be able to have a real conversation. But right now, it's kind of like I feel like you guys are forced to give the most terrible responses because you're trying to be, you know, right. But I mean, if we're honest about the text, I mean, we've showed you 2 clear contradictions, and you guys are just not, you know, willing to see it for what it is. You're lying about it.
Wait, guys. By the way,
is that because you don't agree with it? That's why you say that.
No, it's not because I don't agree with it. It's clear as day. That's why.
It's not a problem. I've given you my explanations of your false contradictions you claim about Iblis and that, and then me and Islamic Defender,
with no proofs though.
we answered the second one as well. We've given you reasonable, we're giving you rational answers, we're giving you evidence based on the Quran.
Your
So
Wait,
yeah,
your
hold on,
responses your responses are based on assumption. Like on both of them, Bob. On the first one, you gave an assumption. Why? Because you assumed that there was something that was said to Iblis. False. Why? Because we can't read it in the text, which would make it an assumption. You assume that something is happening on the back end, but we can't prove that. Why? Because it's just not there. Now, on the second one, on the second contradiction, you literally failed to give any evidence of what you're even talking about. We gave you textual evidence of every single thing that we're talking about, and all you did was say, I think it's in the Quran, let me go find it. And then you couldn't find it and said, just trust me. So what are you talking about? There's nothing to disagree with, bro. You're just wrong.
It's
okay,
Bob.
Avery. When I
Can I
said
say
that,
otherwise
when I
about another
said,
topic?
hang on, when I said when I said he was there, I couldn't find it. Yeah,
Bob logic.
the Muslim Defender, he found it, didn't he? Right.
No, he
So
didn't.
what's the problem here? We're working together, right? He
He
found it.
he
We're
literally
working
did not
together.
find it. What are you talking about? He
He
literally
did.
did not
I
find
said the
it.
right interpretation
Surah
of it.
16, verse 25. He did. He found it.
Oh my God, logic. Okay, I think that's good then. So
Can we move on from this? I sent a link.
we got one more. We got one more we got one more contradiction. What's up, Sig? Sig's in the house. We got one more contradiction. Amen Podcast just brought up whether or not the Quran is fully detailed and explained about everything, or
Before
if he is or if the Quran is clear, has some clear verses and some unclear. So what is your, you guys, I mean, Islamic Defender, it sounds like you saw this yesterday. So what is your response to that?
So my response is to that. Let's pull up the verses first of all, because I think this isn't like the exact wording. Like it's kind of like, but you have to see the full verse for context. So
For
we can pull
sure.
this up.
All right. So can you pull up 12:111 life?
Yep.
Appreciate you, man. I can't believe, man. I got a lot to talk to you about, man. You let Bob cook you, man. It's tough. Tough day for you.
So logic. By the way, I cooked you in a video, like what I said. Just don't forget it, man. One more time, man.
Okay.
The guy cooked him.
Yeah.
Bob won.
I sent the link. You guys
Had
have to
no
react.
responses.
It's Bob Logic.
Bob won. We had no responses. I mean, let him tell it, man.
All right, so there it is. So you got 12:111. It says that in their stories is a lesson. All right, can you zoom in? I can't really see that. Yeah,
Would you like me to zoom?
zoom in a little bit, please. Appreciate it.
It's calm, fam. It's calm.
All right. In their stories, yeah, there is truly a lesson, yeah, for people of reason. This message cannot be a fabrication, rather, yeah, a confirmation of previous revelation, a detailed explanation of all things, a guide, yeah, and a mercy for people of faith. All right, so that's the verse. It says that it's a detailed explanation of all things. Some things, life.
Can I say why that's not a
All
contradiction?
things. You get
All right.
me? All
No.
things. You get me, fam?
I get you.
I'll
fam.
explain why it's not a contradiction. Just because something is detailed doesn't necessarily mean that some things cannot be unclear. Even though it's detailed in the way of guidance, because the guidance is quite clear.
All right, beautiful. I like that point. Now, the verse says it is a detailed explanation of what life?
All things.
All
Everything.
things. So,
Everything.
so that means the guidance, right? That means whatever else it talks about. It's a detailed explanation of everything, not just the guidance. Right?
But just because something is detailed, it doesn't necessarily mean something's like, what I mean unclear is that some things might not be understood in the same way. So listen, so the Quran is detailed, right? So we know the guidance. We know what Allah says. Allah gives a clear guidance. But yeah,
Okay. All right. So here's an example. Here's something that's simply example. I'm going to show you an example where the Quran lacks detail, okay? And it has nothing to do with your lack of understanding. Like you are perfectly capable of reading and understanding what I'm about to show you, and or I'm about to ask you, and but it's just gonna lack detail. You won't be able to answer because the detail is not there. Okay. For example, here's something simple. It mentions Adam's wife, right? The Quran mentions Adam's wife, right? Right.
Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah.
All right.
so I don't wait. Where's this going though?
I'm about to ask, man. Relax. I'm about to ask.
I don't. Okay, I didn't get that. Though.
All right. So the Quran mentions that Adam had a wife. What was Adam's wife's name?
That doesn't necessarily mean if it doesn't say. Wait. Are you saying it's a contradiction or it's not said?
I'm saying it's not. I'm saying that detail is not there. That's all I'm saying. Right?
Well, I'm just saying, what weight should that carry? A detailed explanation on all things. It would already be known in traditions what her name is. Like Allah doesn't necessarily need to say that, nor does He need to say the Pharaoh's name. Like, how important is it saying Adam's name? Because we know Adam's the first man. He had a wife, yes, but does that necessarily mean it holds any weight? Like, does it change anything? No, it doesn't change anything. That's what I'm saying. It's like that's not a good point. I'm just saying.
So that's what you're saying.
Does
the Quran say that it gives detail? It's a detailed explanation of all things that's important, or does it say all things?
All things God wants us to know.
Yeah, like why would we need to necessarily know that?
Can you show me where it says that it's a detailed explanation of all things you need to know? Can you show me where it says that?
It's basically common sense, mate.
Yeah, common sense, bro. Like that's not a good argument, man.
So do you guys see the level of your argumentation? The level of your argumentation is, trust me, bro, that's just what it means. It's common sense.
No, with all due respect, what we're saying is that because, okay, let me ask you this. So what would it change if Allah did say her name? Like, what does that really change? Does it make the story less clear?
I'll tell you.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
The claim of the Quran is that it is a detailed explanation of all things. So if it mentions Adam's wife and also gives her name, that's an example of it being detailed. If it mentions Adam's wife yet doesn't give her name, that's an example of it not being detailed. Okay?
Let's say why that's not. Because listen, maybe if it said like a prophet, they've said a prophet and did not say his name, you could argue that. Because that would be like, you could say that's like a fundamental part of the story.
A prophet?
Yeah, you're going to say something, right?
So let's go to where it mentions that prophets were sent to all their nations. Right?
Yeah.
So a prophet is sent to all their nations, and it says that there are these prophets, some of them are unnamed. You familiar with the verse?
No, that's not what I meant. I mean, like it says a specific prophet story in the same way you're talking about Eve, because you're saying when it talks about, like, what are you saying, man? You're saying that Allah should say all of their names in one text, like that's
no, what I'm saying is that the Quran says. I think you're missing it.
Yeah, no, I got what you said. I don't get it. Yeah, I get it, but I'm saying
so the Quran says. So the Quran says that it's a detailed explanation of all things. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so I, as a reader, am expecting the Quran to be detailed about everything it talks about. Is that fair, or am I being unfair here?
Well, I don't think you're being unfair, but I think it's like, with all due respect, I think it's not like you're misunderstanding of this. Because I'm saying if it gave like a clear explanation of her name, it doesn't say anything. Because even in Genesis, in some parts of it, it says that Adam had a wife. He says, like it says some parts of it, like some verses. Of course,
exactly. That's the point. It says some parts of it, but it's not fully detailed. Some details are there, but not all the details are there. That's the point. The Quran. Well, I'm showing you. The Quran claims to give all the details. But we have examples in the Quran where it doesn't give all the details and only gives some. That's a contradiction.
Well, like you could say that, I guess, from your perspective. But what I'm just saying, and what me and Bob are saying, is Bob's still in the stream, right? Or he left?
Yeah, help about Bob.
Yes, right, Bob. Right.
Oh,
Doesn't matter if it says her name. Like that doesn't change it.
Yeah, I'm still here. What the Quran is talking about, what God is talking about, is all things in details is what God has revealed to us. Okay, in the Quran, God's talking about in that sense.
I love that. Everything that He revealed to you in the Quran, He's detailed about. I agree with that 100%. So He revealed to you that Adam had a wife. Does He give you details about her?
Yeah, but just the wife is enough. That detail alone is enough for us.
So he's not fully detailed about everything He talks about. He only gives some details about the things He talks about.
Wait, first of all, Avery, you know what?
Yes.
So, for example, like the Quran, like it doesn't say her name, but I'm saying what me and Bob are trying to understand is that we don't understand what weight this really carries, because you're saying if like a detailed explanation.
I'm showing you a contradiction. I'm not saying that it
Hadith
changes anything theologically. I'm just showing you a contradiction. That's all.
You know what? This is a similar contradiction. Like, you know what you could have done instead of this? You could have used hadiths. You could have said, look at these hadiths. Look, you don't need the Quran.
Why we in the Quran? I don't care about hadiths.
No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is got logic. Is me and Bob are saying that this isn't really the best argumentation, because
why you haven't been able to refute it?
No, because hadiths already tell her name. Like, why would Allah necessarily need to say that?
Beautiful. This is I love what you just did. So
no, I know where you're going with this.
Where am I going? Tell me if you're
going to say.
I'm gonna send you some. I'm gonna send you some ice cream.
No, I know where you're going to go with this, but I'll let you say. I'll let you say.
No, tell me. I'm curious. You can't do that to me now. I'm curious. Where was I going?
You're gonna say why this specifically isn't detailed and why you need like conspiracy.
Islamic defender. Just tell him, yeah.
Yeah,
Allah is talking about the Quran only.
Bob, hold on, bro. Where was I going with this Islamic defender? When you mentioned that
you were gonna say why this isn't specific.
No, okay, so no.
So
what?
This is not specific. Trying to say.
Oh, you broke up a little bit.
I thought that's what you're saying.
Okay, this is what I was saying.
What you're saying is this isn't specific. Yeah.
No. What I was saying is, what I was gonna go with this, is that you're right. These details, a lot of these details, you will find in the hadith narrations, in the tafsir, and the Asbab al-Nuzul. You'll find it in other works, other literature, right? But you won't find it in the Quran. So that's the point. The point is that the Quran claims that the Quran is fully detailed about all things. So I shouldn't have to go outside of the Quran to find out these details that the Quran talks about. That's the point.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying, like me and Bob agree, these aren't the important details. Like
look, whether you think it's important details or not, that's not the argument. The argument is whether or not the details are there regardless, whether it's big details or little details. The Quran says it's detailed about it all, little and small, small and big. Okay? It's detailed about it all. So something as small as Adam's wife's name should be there because the Quran says that it will be there.
God. Oh my God. Avery. What? I mean, come on, man. What's in your head, man? Come on.
Yeah, bro. Can you move on and bring a better argument, bro?
No, I need y'all to refute this.
Bro,
I refuted you in your last video,
we just told you God is talking about what He has revealed in the Quran, those details. God doesn't need to mention Adam's wife's name. Just Adam's wife.
Here's an example. Life, can you go to chapter 17, verse 1?
Yep. 17:1 on the way. Hey, I'm listening to this barbecue, man, and I can't wait to get a plate.
So Bob says that the Quran is detailed about everything that's revealed in the Quran, which I love that point. I understand that fully.
He means
So,
the important guidance that God sent on to mankind.
oh,
is
he
what
said,
it means.
no, it doesn't say that.
Yeah, but that's what
It's,
you mean, right?
it's an explanation of all things that's revealed in the Quran. All right. We're going to read this verse real quick, Bob. You listening?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. So it says this. It says, glory be to the one who took his servant. That's in brackets, so that's not there. By night from the sacred mosque to the farthest mosque, whose surroundings we have blessed, so that we may show him some of our signs. Indeed, he alone is the all-hearing, all-seeing. So many problems with this, but I'm going to just keep it simple. Here's my question. It says, glory be to the one who took his servant by night. Who is the servant?
Okay, can I say why this is not a good question?
It's
Can I just say
Muhammad
one reason
sallallahu alaihi
why?
wasallam.
Because no, wait a second, Bob. I can handle this. You know why? Listen, do you know who the Quran is being recited to? First of all, who is it being recited to?
Who's it being recited to?
It's being recited to Muhammad from the angel Gabriel. So of course, who else is it talking about? And if you go back to like the previous verses, of course it's talking about Muhammad, dude.
Really? Well, this is all right. This is literally verse 1, so there are no previous verses. It's verse 1 in chapter 17. Can you show me, because you're saying it's talking about Muhammad? I heard Bob say it's about Muhammad. Can you show me in the Quran that this is talking about Muhammad? Where do you get that from?
Well, who's the servant?
It's no, I'll tell you what. Because obviously, man, with all due respect, bro, but this obviously would have to be talking about Muhammad because it's being recited to him.
Really?
Exactly.
In the next verse, in the very next verse, Moses is mentioned. So how is it? How do you know it's not Moses?
Because that's not in Moses' story.
Well, did
otherwise,
hang on. Did
Moses
Moses ever got from Mecca to Jerusalem?
Yeah, of course.
Did Muhammad?
Yes.
Yeah.
Show me that from the Quran.
It's known in tradition.
Oh my God.
Wait,
Bro,
is that in the Quran?
Does it need to be really?
Yes, because it's detailed about all things. So is this talking about Muhammad? If it is, show me
we
that.
Understand that that's Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That's how we understand it. That's a detail.
Wait. Do you understand it from the Quran or do you understand it outside of the Quran?
Every can I refute that 1 second?
No, hold it. Wait.
Listen. Every it's
one at a time.
Yeah.
We all talking over each other. I asked a very straightforward question. Does it say that this is Muhammad in the Quran? Yes or no?
No, it doesn't. No.
All right. So where do you get it from that this servant is Muhammad?
Because it says there from Masjid al-Haram to Masjid al-Aqsa. Who is in Masjid al-Haram? Who is that person?
Tell me. Where does it say that who that person is and where that? First of all, where does it say where that is?
Avery, if you read this verse, you will know straight away it's Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
Well, I'm reading it straight away, and I don't see it mentioned Muhammad.
Oh my goodness, Avery! Oh my
this
goodness!
Is literally gold, bro. This is comedy gold. Because listen, man, it's unclear. If it's unclear, then why did anyone not interpret it as another prophet? Like, come on, bro.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, bro.
But there are people that interpret this as another prophet because
no, man, you have to actually use like Sahih hadith, man.
You gotta use Sahih hadiths.
No, that's not what I mean. No. I meant to prove someone thought it's another prophet. See, this is what I'm saying.
In order for you to prove that it's Muhammad, you need the hadiths.
No, I did not say that.
Okay, stop. Everybody stop. Everybody relax. This is what you guys have to do. Since you just said no, I don't have to use the hadiths to prove this is Muhammad. Prove to me from the Quran that the servant that went by night is Muhammad. Show me that from the Quran.
Oh, give me 5 seconds, man. I need to look up the full context of the verses. Yeah,
I got you. Go ahead.
Okay, Avery.
What was the surah again?
It's 17, verse 1.
Okay.
Bob, while he gets that, did you want to say something?
Yeah, what I'm saying is, What about if we use the hadith? What's the problem, mate? Because in the Quran it does say if you obey Allah and obey the messenger.
Yeah.
So what?
Well,
So what's the problem there?
yeah, the problem is that this proves that the Quran itself is not fully detailed. And what you
Well,
said,
if you say
let me
if the
answer your
Quran
question
says,
in full, Bob. Let me answer your question in full. The Quran said that this book is a fully detailed explanation of everything. You said that this means that the Quran is fully detailed about the things it reveals. So
yes,
it just
that's right, yeah.
so right here it reveals that a servant was taken by night by Allah and taken from one mosque to the furthest mosque. This is what was revealed. So you said that it's detailed about what Allah revealed in the Quran. So I'm talking
That's
about
right.
this. Does it so the question is, does it tell you who the servant is? Does it tell you where he went specifically? Does it give you these details? It should, based on that criteria. If it doesn't, if you have to go to the hadith, if you have to go to the hadith to get these details, then that shows that Quran verse, and even according to your own criteria, Bob, is false. That it's not fully detailed.
That's not true, because in the Quran it says obey Allah and obey the messenger, and the hadith we know is actually from the sayings of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So it's still the verse that says obey Allah and obey the messenger, that's also part of the details of the Quran.
Is the hadith the Quran?
Yeah, but in the Quran it says obey Allah and obey the messenger. So we know the hadith are the sayings of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So what's the problem?
Hadiths the Quran?
But whose speech is in the Quran?
Answer the question. Are the hadiths the Quran? Yes or no, bro?
No, they're not.
Does the Quran say that the hadiths are fully detailed, or does it say that the Quran itself is fully detailed?
The Quran says the Quran itself is fully detailed.
Thank you. So we're not talking about hadiths. We're talking about the Quran.
Let me talk, please.
You just did.
In the Quran, it says obey Allah and obey the messenger. So where do we get the messenger's speech? From the hadith.
No worries. No problem. My only point is that the Quran, as you agreed, says that it itself is fully detailed. The Quran.
I got the answer after you're done saying.
All right, go ahead. You got the answer. Go ahead. So you got from the Quran that Muhammad is that servant. Okay, go ahead.
Of course. So first of all, you recognize this, right? Wait, can I say it? Listen. So first of all, 17 verse 1 says, "Glory to him who sent his servant on the night journey," right? So listen. So if verse 2 says, "And we gave Moses a scripture," and it talks about Noah and all the other prophets, then who is it talking to?
That's a great question.
No. Let me show you another verse, man. Let me show you another
verse. That's a great question.
Can you guys hear me?
No, bro, I'm not done. I was gonna finish it. It says it talks about Noah and it talks about the other ones, and it's saying to Muhammad,
Moses,
it's relating
and Israel, right? So who is that servant?
It's relating to Muhammad, bro. Peace be upon him. Who else is it talking about, bro?
Show me where. Well, show me. You got to show me that. You said it's in the Quran, so show me that.
Avery, do you believe Moses?
Sorry, can you hear me?
Let Islamic Defender do this. Let him do this.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, bro, you got to wait your turn, Muhammad.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
So, Bob, wait your turn as well. Islamic Defender is dealing with this directly. So now,
no problem.
Islamic Defender, you said that you can show me from the Quran that the servant is Muhammad without your assumption, without your bias or whatever. So show me from the Quran. That's all I'm asking.
Oh, I can do that easily. So when it says in the first verse, from the sacred mosque to the farthest mosque, and so it says from the sacred mosque, and where would be the sacred mosque to the farthest mosque? This would be talking about Masjid al-Harami, and even the Arabic says it. Pretty sure.
So it mentions Masjid al-Haram. Where does it? But the farthest mosque, where is that?
That's in Jerusalem.
No. First of all, no. I'll come to that. But you were saying it doesn't say Muhammad. Where is Masjid? Where's Masjid al-Harami? Who else would this be talking about?
Where is that?
You don't know this?
Where does the Quran tell you?
It's in Mecca. It's in Mecca.
bro, with all due respect, man, it's talking about Mecca, bro. Do
Show me the verse. Show me the verse.
Dude, no, Masjid al-Harami is literally the name for the mosque in Mecca. No,
Show me the verse.
bro,
Every
dude,
Muslims know this.
Show
yes,
me the
bro.
verse.
This is
Guys,
embarrassing. With all due respect,
guys,
man, this is
guys.
embarrassing.
If it's embarrassing, it should be easy for you to show me the verse.
I just did. It says Masjid al-Harami.
Pause. You're assuming that Masjid al-Haram is in Mecca. Show
Yes.
me from the Quran.
It is.
that
Every
Masjid
Muslim knows it.
al-Haram- Dude, stop interrupting. Show me from the Quran that Masjid al-Haram is in Mecca. Show me that.
So you don't believe?
Shall he show you that Masjid al-Aqsa is in Palestine too?
Yeah, you're gonna have to show the
Where,
verses.
where is it then, Avery?
You
Where is
can't
it?
show everything from Quran, bro. You have
Boom!
Quran that is very, very big. If
Only the
you
important
want,
stuff.
as Muslims, to show
Boom!
you everything from the Quran.
Muhammad,
It's
that's
not good
the,
enough.
That's the point, though. That's the point.
Beautiful, Muhammad.
No,
say
no,
that.
no. You
Say that.
can't.
Wait, Muhammad,
Listen
please.
to me.
Please,
Listen to me,
please.
bro.
I am.
You
I'm
can't.
about to let you cook. Listen, I'm about to let you go. I just
Okay.
want you to repeat what you just said because what you just said
I will.
was important. Go ahead.
Okay. The Quran, example, God says in Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Quran, you have to pray. How to pray? You can't
Exactly.
get all the details in the Quran how to pray, bro.
Exactly.
If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala want to tell you everything in Quran, you want thousands of Quran. That's not how it's work. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, obey Allah and obey his messenger. So you have to obey his messenger. And how to obey his messenger? How the messenger says, how the messengers do. And that's we have the hadith, we have Islamic scholars, we have tafsir and everything. They explain how to pray. Where is Masjid al-Haram? Where is Masjid al-Aqsa? We have Islamic scholars. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala could say how many rak'at to pray in Dhuhr, how many rak'ats in Asr, where is Masjid al-Aqsa, where is Masjid al-Haram, where is Masjid al-Nabawi. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala could say that. But you want, if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala want to say everything you're asking for, okay, we need thousands and thousands and thousands of Quran.
Right.
And the same thing in Bible.
Wait, pause here.
God in the Bible cannot tell everything in the Bible, right?
Yeah, Muhammad. That's
yes.
I appreciate.
And I would say thank you for letting me in.
Of course.
I see you and Sheikh Uthman. I'm living in Denmark, so I appreciate that you let me in. Sorry for my English. I speak Arabic. I speak Danish. I speak.
Your English is perfect. Your English is perfect.
I'm not so good to speak English, so sorry for
your English is good. It's good enough. So look, what you just said, Muhammad, was beautiful. I love the honesty, and that is exactly what my point was. My point is that the Quran is not fully detailed. Like there's so many.
It is.
Bob, don't cut me off right now. Let me work. So it's not fully detailed. There's certain things that you have to go outside of the Quran in order to get this information, like what you said, prayer,
from where?
Hajj, and all this kind of stuff. You get it from the hadith. Yeah, you get it. Sure, no problem.
Yes,
my whole point. Let me finish. Yes. My entire point was that the Quran itself is not fully detailed. It doesn't have all of that information in it, and so you have to go outside of the Quran to the tafsirs, asbab al-nuzul, to the hadiths, the sayings of Muhammad outside of the Quran, in order to get certain details that the Quran talks about. So my whole point is that the Quran verse says that the Quran is a fully detailed explanation of all things. And the whole point is that that's a contradiction. What you just helped me prove is that we don't get all the details from the Quran. We have to go outside of it, which proves my point.
That's just okay. Avery, can I come in? This is what we're saying in the Quran. It says, obey Allah, obey the messenger. Okay, so you have to also take that verse and connect it with all things in details. Because for us to understand the prayers and how to live life, God says you have to listen to Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So the hadith is the sayings of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. All of that is connected with all things in details with obey Allah and the messenger. You're missing that part. You want to just look at all things in details only, but you're disconnecting the verse where it says you have to obey Allah and the messenger. You have to connect that one as well
I
to
have to
get
end
the
it there.
picture of the hadith as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So guys, we're approaching 2 hours, and I told we're gonna do this 2 hours. So, I appreciate it. Each and every one of you guys coming.
In.
Yeah, you
Can I
caught
say
me.
one thing?
You're late, Mohammed. We've been here for we're
I
at
live in
an hour
Denmark,
and 56 minutes.
I know in the time
Can I
in
say
Denmark,
one thing afterwards?
it's in
Well,
USA.
no, we're the last points were made, man. The last points were made. I really got to shut this down because I want people to be able to watch this and come back to it later. But I do appreciate all three of you guys coming. Muhammad, I wish you joined earlier. Stay tuned for next because I stream often, Muhammad. So you're
Okay.
more than welcome to come and
Thank
join in
you.
conversations and everything. Okay. Thanks, Bob, for showing up, man, holding it down. Got a new nickname, Bob Logic, right? And then we got Islamic Defender that came in. We appreciate you guys having these conversations with respect and just having a good time. It was fun. It was a fun time. So with that said, I'm gonna wrap this up. I'm gonna drop you guys down.
Before the stream ends,
Please.
just before the stream ends, can you just react to like a 50-second video like that I made?
Not right now. Maybe on the next stream. Send me on the next stream. I will. I promise. Come on the next stream.
Adrian Live. Adrian Live. I want to say thank you very much for giving me the chance to speak.
Sure.
I appreciate that.
When
And,
is the next stream? When?
And also my brother,
Tonight.
Islamic Defender. Thank you very much for being on my side. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah. So I'm gonna be streaming again later on today. What time is it for you in Denmark?
Denmark now is 12
See you later, guys. Bye-bye. I'm going. See you later.
p.m.
Bye,
now
bye.
12 p.m.
It's 12 p.m.
Yes.
Okay, and it's 3 p.m. for me right now. So I'm going to be streaming 3 hours from now. Again, it's going to be about the scientific miracles in the Quran where Ali Dawah said that it's been debunked, and so we're inviting Muslims to come up and see if they believe if there are scientific miracles in the Quran or if they agree with Ali Dawah that that's not a good argument. So we're inviting Muslims to come and talk about that if you want. You're more than welcome. So that'll be in.
Why you do not invite Sheikh Othman also? You speak a lot.
He's more than welcome, and anybody is welcome. Sheikh Uthman, Ali Dawah, the guys from Hamza's Den, they're all welcome to join our streams. Like the invitation is open. Like it's not. I don't have any of them blocked. It's public. Everybody's welcome to come. Everybody.
It sounds very good.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So if you are in touch with any of them or you see their videos, you can comment. Hey,
it's the first time in my life I get on the stream.
Oh yeah. No worries. No, yeah, well, that's a good first time. But yeah, they're all invited, bro. So, but yeah, in 3 hours I will be streaming again with that stream. And so I have a couple of brothers with me. So you're more than welcome to join me.
In 3 hours, and unfortunately I will sleep. I will sleep now because the clock is too much here in Denmark.
Oh, okay. Well, all right. Well, I'll probably be streaming. What's today? Today's Wednesday. I'll probably be streaming again tomorrow. We'll see. Okay. So if you subscribe to the channel, man, and look out for it, you'll get notified. Okay.
Okay. Inshallah ta'ala.
All right. Thank you. I appreciate you, Muhammad. With that being said, you guys, God bless you. There's only one God who's triune, right? Who in the person of the Son came down, died for our sins, and rose again on the third day with power and authority, reconciling us back to God. And he's the only way. Repentance and faith in him is the way to salvation. So let him do a work in you and submit to him as your Lord. And that way we'll be reconciled to the Father. But that being said, we out.